All right, so I'm just going to share a few little bits of information about objections, and then we're just going to work. Like, if you guys have questions on specific objections that you've been getting a lot of, or if you want to share some samples, or we're just going to go to work. So I'm going to talk. Megan's going to cut me off in 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes here on the clock. So what I'm sharing with you came actually from a speaker that I saw at Summit. It was Julie Voris and Miguel Carrasca, and they talked about handling objections and getting to yes. And when we were trying to figure out what to talk about today, I was thinking about not only myself and everything that's been happening lately with all these objections, but I think from talking to you guys are getting a lot of objections. And this time of year, I don't want to say it's a hard time of year because I don't believe in using that as an excuse, but this is like objection city time. I feel like people are, oh, it's school. Like last month it was vacation. Now it's school. And then in the fall, it'll be, oh, it's fall. Like, and this is just that time for people to have objections. And so I think the more that you can go in with an arsenal and you can be ready to go, the better off that you will be. So what I will do is actually, I'll just take a picture of my notes and I'll post that in our group later. So rather than just typing this all out, I'll just take a picture and you guys can see it. But the biggest thing I want you to take away from tonight is that objections are opportunities for you to share your story. So when somebody gives you an objection, money, time, whatever it is, that's a chance for you to tell your story. Because money was probably somewhat of an issue for you when you started, or in month 2 or month 3 when you had to come up with that money for Shakeology, or time was probably an issue for you. You're like, crap, I have this and this and this and this and this. How am I going to get it all in? So this is a chance for you to tell your story, not only to them, but on your social media too, and as your posts and sharing your story. And another thing too with that, you guys, objections are never about you. It's never you, it's always them. It has nothing to do with what you're offering, what group you're running, what product or program you're doing. It's all on them. And that's something that I think as soon as you grasp that and understand that, that comes from up here and knowing it's not you, it's them. But the sooner that you get to that point, it's easier to take those objections, handle them, turn them around and use them. And it's not taking it as that personal dig. Obviously, the best way to handle them is to not get objections, right? Wouldn't that be awesome just to never get objections, right? Someday when we're all at the top, like Julie Voris and Miguel, we won't get objections. But here's why they don't get them. Because they are constantly addressing them in their social media, in the way that they're inviting, in the way that they're talking and explaining. They're not getting those objections. I mean, yes, they still do, but people aren't going to give them those objections because they're constantly talking about it. So the 3 main objections, money obviously is the first one. And what they're really saying when they say that is that they don't see the value in it. They don't, you guys freaking know how amazing $160 all access challenge pack is. Seriously, like it's insane. You guys know that. We see the value. They don't. So when somebody says that, they object to you of the price because they don't see the value. They don't see that they get an entire year of workouts, 30 days of a meal. They don't see that. They just see $160. Holy crap. Okay. So that does a couple things. You can work on explaining it better, explaining the value, what they all get with that. But then you can turn that in and talk about that in your next couple posts. The value of having your workouts at home, being able to just push play and have not a million, but a ton of trainers right there at your fingertips. So that gives you a chance to share and talk more about the value of All Access, the value of Shakeology, what it's done for you, etc. Second one we get a lot of is time. How many of you get objections on time? I'm too busy. I work 60 hours a week. I have kids. Really? Like, you really want to go there? Okay, right? You guys think that, right? This is what they're actually thinking, is that they don't see themselves as a priority. They don't think that finding the time to work out, finding the time to prep their meals makes them a priority. So what does that do? That means that you need to address that. You need to talk about that. Yeah, I used to not get up early and take time for myself either, but now it's the best part of my day. My day can't start without it, right? And then you address that on your social media. You talk about that in your posts, like how you used to not care about yourself, how you used to not take that time for you, how I never used to eat Brussels sprouts because barf, but now I realize they're good for me and they're, you know, or whatever, right? You start to talk about that and help them realize that too. And then, you know, the third one is just belief, right? I get that a lot lately. It's been, I just don't think I can commit, or I don't think that I can do it, or I'm afraid I'm going to fail. And they just don't believe in themselves. And that's where you can bring in the group aspect and you helping them and you being there before. So taking all three of those things, and those are the main objections, and that's really what they're saying. Objections are fear. Objections, like I said before, are nothing against you. It's all their fear. I just had a gal last night. I said to her, like, just trust me for 30 days. Like, let's just do this. And she's like, I'm just so scared I'm going to fail. I'm like, let's just do it. Let's do it together. Go in there. And she admitted it. And so many people think that. They're just not bold enough to actually tell you that. But when they say, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, they're just giving you those excuses because they're scared. And so that's when your job actually starts, when you get to actually dig in. And when somebody just says no, how many of you just walk away from the conversation? When somebody says, no, thanks, how many of you just walk away? No, that's the time to start working. That's the time to be like, well, why? Why aren't you interested? And then it comes back on them, and sometimes they still don't answer, and that's because they're just not ready. They don't believe in themselves. They know that their excuses are BS, right? Or they come back at you with, I don't have time. I don't have money. And then you can address that. Do not, from here on out, do not ever walk away from a conversation when somebody just says no. I want you to ask like 10 questions. Maybe not all at once, but that's when it starts. That's when your job begins, because you have them. They're like, no thanks. Okay, why? Tell me why. And here's the other reason why. Let's say they tell you time, or they tell you money, or whatever other excuses. Start a list of those, because those become your posts. I started one, hang on. I started a list of it the other day of all my objections that I was getting. So here's some of them that I have to post about in the next few days, few weeks. I just like to do stuff on my own. All right. So that's an excuse I've been getting a lot. Free time. I don't want to use my free time for exercise. I have no willpower. I just know that I should, but I don't have it yet. Talking more about the nutrition piece of it. Time. I couldn't get into working out at home. That's when I've been getting to at the gym. I don't know what to do. And then I shared this one with Megan today. It wasn't really an objection because I didn't really invite her, but I was just asking her if she knew anybody that'd be interested. And she said, that's so awesome that you're so into that. Like, I just love pizza and drinking so much that I'm so glad I can just put a few drops of, I don't know, it's essential oils or something. But she's like, I'm so glad I can just put a few drops of that in my water and still have my pizza and my beer. And I'm like, I sent it to Megan. I'm like, what the hell do I even say to that? Like, what? You know, but that's something, you bet your ass I'm going to talk about that in the next day or two, about how I bust my butt in 45 minutes and feel like I'm going to die for my results, rather than just, no, Kevin told me tonight, he's like, you should post that you worked your ass off so that you can have pizza and stuff rather than just drink some stuff. But anyways, like, those objections, don't take them so personal. Look at that as a chance to, there's something I can post about. There's something that I can share about. Here's something I can screenshot and share with my coach friends and laugh about how crazy people are, right? So don't be so afraid of them. Objections are ways for you to dig deeper, peel back the layers, find the yes, and then that's arsenal to add into your content for sharing. And one other thing I noticed too with myself is if I'm constantly getting the same objection over and over, I'm not sharing about that enough. If I'm constantly getting Shakeology objections, I'm probably not sharing about it enough, or about the value. I'm probably not talking about it enough. So look at that as a reflection on you too. Like, am I talking about this enough? You know, lately I keep getting a lot of people that are like, I don't need to lose weight. All right, that means I'm talking too much about Shift Shop being for weight loss and not so much just about health. So also turn it back and look at you, and that's a way that you can kind of evaluate your social media and stuff too. yeah, so just basically that was what I had, just to ask questions. From this moment forward, do not ever accept and leave the conversation at no thanks. Don't ever, because I used to do that all the time. Oh, thanks so much for getting back to me. Like, have a good day. Right? No. Go back and ask them why. Like, why aren't you interested? Just curious. And then I've also started doing, if people are like, well, I do my own workouts. I'm like, well, what do you do? Tell me about it. And so just asking them more questions to see what they're actually doing, you know, and just getting more information that way. So that's what I got you guys. So what I want you to do now is I was 10 minutes on the dot, by the way. You've got 16 minutes till 9 o'clock. So what I want you to do is go back through your messages like the last 2 or 3 days and see if there's some people that have said no and you just left it at that. See if you can go back to those people and ask them why. If you've gotten some crazy objections and you want some help, you can comment those too. I'm going to post another picture. I shared it with my Team Cup gals, but I think it's from Bonnie Engel. Just some ways to talk about when people object the price. But honestly, you guys, the best thing to do is just share what your hesitations were and how you overcame them and just how you went all in and got to that point. Your story is the best way to overcome those. So I'm not going to turn on music, though, because I think that's why YouTube blocked the video. So I'm not going to turn on YouTube. But I am going to mute myself, so it'll just kind of be quiet across the board. But if you have questions, you should be able to unmute yourself. And then, was there anything in the chat for me, or was it, I think Megan was answering stuff. Yeah, not onions, Brussels sprouts, that's better. I know, I struggle too with Shakeology, I really do. And I know it's just a mental thing, like posting about it, but, because, you know, we post about our workouts all the time, that's easy, but.
Maybe with like Shakeology, you can, like I was telling my Team Cup people, so this summer I posted a lot about Shakeology when I was in the dugout or I was at a softball game or in the car, because that's when I use it. That's why I drink Shakeology. Otherwise, I mean, I use it for like my thyroid and stuff too, but like honestly, I wouldn't need it, you know? So if I had the time to make breakfast, if I had the time to eat all of my meals and I could eat 7 to 9 servings of vegetables every single day on top of what I have, then yeah, I wouldn't need Shakeology. But the fact is that we don't have that time. We don't have that. So like Aaron makes his shakes every night before he goes to bed. I could just take a picture and be like, hubby's ready for tomorrow, you know, or with your meal planning or just talking about how it makes you feel. And then look back at your photos before you started Shakeology to where you're at now. And I want you to like challenge yourself and see how your face looks. Because Aaron said this to me and I was like, what? You're just being like nice or whatever. But like I look differently. Like I look differently. If you look at some of my photos and stuff, like I just look healthy, he said. And so you really do. Like you really start to look healthy. You can talk about your nails. Like I know sometimes Kelly posts about like how her nails grow. So you can tie that into Shakeology. If your hair is growing, like I actually have like a ponytail, like you can talk about that. It doesn't have to be like, hey, Shakeology, because that's when people think you're selling them something. If you tie it into like brownie batter or a mug cake or I don't know, your spouse drinking it or something, like if you tie it into your life and stuff, it kind of doesn't seem like Shakeology anymore. It just seems like something that's a part of you. And then someone talked about talking about the nutritional value of it. I am not a nutritionist, and so I would have to read up more on Shakeology to be out there. But what I'm doing is I'm using it and talking about it like with my thyroid and how it helps me in my situation. So maybe you're a mom and you lack feeding yourself, you know, because you're feeding your kids or waiting on them, or you know, you I don't know, work and don't get a good break, or, you know, something, or there's junk food always in the teacher's lounge or the office or whatever. So just use it like towards your story too. Because when you just take a picture and smile with it, like that's when people just get rubbed off by it. But if you actually, and I'm not saying I'm like a pro, because I've heard people talk shit about my Shakeology and I don't care, but I just, you know, it's it's funny because those that are hating on it have either never tried it or they don't do shakes, but they've never really invested in it long enough and they're scared that it actually works. Because I used to talk crap all the time. I was like, oh, Kylie and her Shakeology bottle, like when we were at school. And then like I was scared it wasn't going to work for me. I was afraid that I was going to be that person that it didn't work for. And so I was really negative about Shakeology. I never told her. I just signed up with it because she was like, here's this, you know. But again, like what Andrea said too, you know, just asking their goals and their struggles, because sometimes you guys, like, Shakeology isn't the answer for people. Like sometimes it's the performance line. Sometimes, you know, like it's just accountability. So if you ask them those things, I had a guy reach out to me today. I always like don't say anything about Shakeology for guys for some reason. I instantly go to performance line. But after I listened to him today, like he really needed Shakeology. And so, just, yeah, asking their struggles. And I say using it as leverage, but that sounds awful. But you know what I mean? Like just like come back with it and be like, okay, when you're ready to, you know, drop 20 pounds so you can be there for your kids, I'm here for you. Like, let's do this or something. So
there's something I was trying to find that was in the back office that was to help with Shakeology. Like it asked questions that you could answer, like how did you feel before? I'm trying to find it, and if I do, I'll post it in the page. But it was like, how do you feel drinking Shakeology? Like, what did you struggle with before? Just a bunch of different things. I can't, somewhere in the back office, I'll try to find it. But I know it was like at the beginning of the year, they added that in, and it was a good way of talking more about what it's done for you. And I know somebody posted in Rural Republic a while back, they talked about like the different nutrients and stuff in Shakeology and kind of took a different spin on that. There is a Shakeology podcast too that's been on my to-do list for months, but to listen to one a week. But yeah. So.
And maybe that's why sometimes we're scared to post about Shakeology, because let's be honest, like we're Beachbody coaches, but not everybody on here is certified to, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like we're not doctors, we're not nutritionists, we're not all personal trainers, you know, we just are coaches. And I think sometimes people on the outside, that's why they talk crap, because they view us as personal trainers, nutritionists, doctors, and we're not. Like we know that, and that's why we don't portray it like that. We're coaches. Just like if you were coaching a sport, like you don't go and play the game for the kid, you don't go and do this for them, you don't I don't know, tell them this is the only way to do it. No, you show them several different ways, you coach them, and you know, help them through the process and try to get them to be their best, you know, version of themselves. So when you're thinking about Shakeology, if you feel like icky about posting about it or just sharing about it, maybe it's because you need to do more research on it, or you just need to think to yourself, why am I drinking Shakeology? Like, why are you? Because I told you to, or Kylie told you to, you know, like, why are you drinking it? Because if you don't like it, you shouldn't be drinking it. You should be finding something that you love and you're passionate about. You know, I have a couple coaches who don't drink Shakeology. They drink the performance line. They still understand the value, though, of Shakeology. So that might help, too. So that's. Oh, Andrea, I just saw your thing. Tried over 15 different ones. She's just, okay. So with that, too, I've had people who say, like, I've tried all of the shakes and stuff. They're not all the same. I've had Advocare before. I'm not going to talk bad about a program, but it just didn't fill me up. I didn't enjoy the taste of it. And then with Shakeology, the thing for me was when I first tried it, it was an acquired taste. I'm not going to say like, oh my gosh, I was blown away like at first. But then I like tried Butterfinger. I tried like different recipes, and then I was like, oh, I can do this. And then I actually started craving it. So sometimes it's actually just like in people's head that they aren't shake people. So maybe even, yeah, sorry, I'm just reading and talking out loud. Yeah, they just need to give it a chance.
And that's true with, like, your challengers, too. Like, if you have challengers that are, like, after they have the Shakeology, like, offer them different recipes. Like, send them some different samples. I have a lot of people right now that, for whatever reason, don't like chocolate. And I'm like, all right, well, let me send you this or that. So that goes with your challengers, too, because the first time I ever had vanilla, you guys, I hated it. And I think in my head, I told myself I didn't want to like it because I didn't want to like Shakeology. And so it took me a while, kind of like Megan said, it was acquired taste. And then finally I found something, and now so think about that with your challenges too, because sometimes they objected to me at first.
That's a big thing because I've had so many people like say they like it, literally like after a day, and then like a week later they're like, I don't like it anymore. Because they only like it a certain way, and then they think that they have to do it plain and all of this stuff, and they just don't understand. Or they only try it once and they hate it.
I was just going to comment. Riley talked about the regular chocolate versus the vegan chocolate. At first, I heard the word vegan, and I was like, have my husband embedded in my head that absolutely not. Like, I don't need vegan or whatever. I actually switched to vegan. So, yeah, I love it. You can't have it with water, though, but yeah. And it helps my stomach, too. If anybody has, like, not to be gross, but like IBS or like thyroid stuff, it actually does help too. So, yuck, Riley. Okay, I have a random coach question here. So, customer, she's a customer right now. She wants to sign up as a coach with the All Access and Shakeology. If she's already a customer under somebody and she wants to sign up as a coach with a challenge pack under that person, the link like doesn't work because you already have an account. So how do I bypass that? Long story short, Erin has a girl that wants to sign up as a coach with a challenge pack, but she's already a customer under her.
Oh, okay, so this person wants to sign up. She's a customer under Erin, and she wants to sign up as a coach with a challenge pack?
Yeah.
And you want to do her under Erin?
Yeah. Because I just told Erin, I was like, hey, you just send her a link, the coach link, with the challenge pack, but it just takes her to her account because she already has one.
See, and remember the other day I was like telling you we couldn't get that girl figured out how to get signed up. That was the same problem. So I think
she has to get the challenge pack first and then sign up as a coach and then refund.
Yeah.
Because if you do coach first, you can't actually get a challenge pack.
Go and purchase it and put his coach ID in and then sign up to be a coach after she's under his ID?
It's actually the other Erin. Sorry, it's super confusing, but she's been asking me all day and I don't know how to answer it. Like, I've just been giving her random things to try, but what I was thinking was like, get the All Access Challenge Pack with Shakeology, pay the $160. But then if she signs up as a coach afterwards, wouldn't that be $40?
She not get a challenge pack as a customer?
I think she said she already purchased a challenge pack under her as a customer before.
Can she like totally make a new account under a different email? Because I've had a lot of people that like joined in like 2012 and bought a challenge pack back in the day, and then it's just like a pain in the butt. So usually I just have them create a different account under a different email and then redo it that way, because that's how I did with my aunt.
Well, she Okay, she said she was a coach under Erin like a year ago. Then she canceled. So now she's just a customer. And she wants to sign back up as a coach. But she wants a challenge back.
Is she getting anything through her current Beachbody account?
She says she doesn't think so.
I would say just go in, log into your account, buy a challenge pack, fill out the form to be a coach, and then get it refunded.
Okay.
I think that's yeah.
Yeah.
That is a mess.
Yeah.
There's Courtney on here. Hey, Courtney. Oh, she's muted.
Okay.
Megan, that kind of sounds like how I re-signed up because I was a coach 2 years ago, but then when I signed up under Bree, I did a challenge pack, but I also did a coach. I don't know how she signed me up though.
Yeah, so, because, like, basically I would just send you a link as a coach with a challenge pack, but the only thing is the fact that she's already under Erin. So sometimes it just takes you back to your account. So I'm just going to tell her to send it as a coach link and see if it works. And if it doesn't, we'll just do, okay, next question. I have 2 people that want to use BOD because they live together, so it'd be like my husband and I, and they both want Shakeology. Anybody? I'm thinking like, because they don't really need 2 challenge packs.
Have one of them sign up as a coach and then have the other one go underneath them type of thing, maybe? No? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because then they'd save money and then also be, like, compensated as a customer back. Kind of. I don't know.
Because, like, before, we would just do 2 separate challenge packs and just get 2 DVDs and, like...
Yeah, and that's easy, but... Huh.
If one does the Shift Shop challenge pack, they'd get a set of markers with it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Totally started highlighting people too, by the way, after last week's call, after they officially sign up. So
Oh, I was gonna say something. I had a couple people that struggled with objections of like customer versus a coach. So I was gonna post a picture. I just have like a chart that I send people to explain the difference between signing up as a customer or a coach. But I wanted to let you guys know that next month, customers will no longer get 10% off of their purchase items. So like, let's say Megan is a customer and she orders Shakeology religiously under you. You do get commission, but the only thing is that she's getting 10% off of her Shakeology. In September, she's going to be paying full price. So she might as well sign up as a coach and save 25%. So my plan was to actually just send out a general letter to all of my customers and coaches. So if you're on here, you'll probably get one. But I just want to let you guys know that that's what it means if you hear it from somebody. So if you have customers under you, the best thing possible for them if they're getting Shakeology is to sign up as a discounted coach to save 25% off. Otherwise, honestly, like, they're not wasting their money, but they kind of are, because if you can get 25% off a shirt versus just buying the shirt, like, how many of you would get 25% off? Like, everybody would. It doesn't make any sense. So I do have a chart to explain customer versus coach a little bit better. And then I was going to let you guys know that when I sign people up right now, I give them the option of customer or coach. But in September, I'm actually just going to switch to signing them up as coaches, unless they really express that they want to sign up as a customer, just because of the fact that I don't want them to be missing out on a discount if they order again. And then, yeah, I mean, the only objection with that I have gotten is the auto shipment, and it's auto ship whether it's customer or it's a coach. So I just let them know that after the first month, there's nothing different, but after that first month, you just save 25% off. That's the only difference, really. You do pay a $15 membership fee. However, you still save $30 after that on your Shakeology. So like mine's like $97, and I think with tax, depending on where it ships, it's like $108 or $106 or whatever, versus like $140, I think is what, or $130 something, I think is what it was before. So if you get an email from me or you hear something about customers losing their discount, that's what it is. Like, customers usually get 10% discount. After September, they will no longer get that, and they'll just pay full price. So basically, it opens up doors for you guys, because that opens up more coaches, more people willing to sign up as discounted coaches. And so maybe you can start adding them into a team page of your own and having a discount coach team page. I'm going to do separate from my actual team page, because the energy in my team page is completely different than a discounted team page. But that's just something too, if you're looking to build your business or keep moving along, like, that just might be sort of beneficial for you, I guess. But yeah.
And the nice thing about that too, we talked about this with my corporate person the other day, but if somebody is a customer and they're buying that Shakeology at full price, it gives you better commission. So if somebody's like fully against wanting to be a coach and is fine with paying full price, it's actually bringing the benefit like back to us, because by them getting a discount, like, we're missing out on some of that commission. So it's kind of nice that they're doing it that way. Plus, I mean, it stinks, but then again, it's like, with having BOD, like, they don't need that 10% discount. They're getting such a great deal anyway. So that's kind of where it's coming from if you have people that have issues or concerns. And I think I saw, was it September 18th? Is that when it said? Did I see that posted somewhere? Yeah, so. All right. Well, I think I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to end this, and I'll upload the recording to YouTube and then post it in the page. But don't hesitate to, like, screenshot, and I know we started doing this a little bit last week, but screenshot your objections and throw them below, or questions that you come up with, like, in that page. Like, we have so many different people with so many different opinions and stories and breastfeeding and, like, issues going on. Like, ask those questions there. Like, that's the best place to get those resources. I know there's 2 or 3 things I've taken from there that I'm like, oh, I never thought to say something like that. So screenshot those objections. This week, let's see who can come up with the craziest objection. Like, whoever gets the most insanely ridiculous objection, you get the prize for the week of being. Although, I don't know. Wait, okay. I think it's a close tie between the one Megan sent me today and the one I sent her today on the drops. And then
yeah, I think mine was like, so I don't just drink veggie shakes, and I can't remember what else she said, but like, apparently it's like a thing to juice and stuff, and so like the hippie people do it, but I mean, to each their own, but still, it's just kind of. Oh, Megan, let's hear yours.
Well, I got told today that I'm too beastly.
Oh my gosh. You're too beastly?
Yeah, that they followed my posts, and that they would be afraid of me being their coach because I'm too beastly.
Oh no. I would take that as a compliment. If
I totally took it as a compliment, but it was just like,
Did you say I learned it from my coach?
Yeah, I was like, have you seen all of us?
Oh, funny.
That was my one for the week, so that's my best one yet.
And the week is still young.
I know.
I think I had a coach once that was like, I don't really do shakes, I just want workouts. And so, yeah, Riley. I wonder, are you going to unmute yourself? Oh, maybe not.
She's hiding.
Oh, fine. I unmuted myself. Are you just hating because I got on the call late?
No, I can't see you. That's why I'm hating on you.
I know. I just want to be a Greek god, Megan. Come on.
Oh my God, I forgot to